Here, tomorrow night in part 3 of this series, the many Iraqi civilians who get caught in the crossfire in the war, including women and children, and the care these American medical experts give them as well. Now to our special series, The Wounds of War, reported by our veteran correspondent Robert Bazell from Iraq. For the past 2 nights, we've been showing you the quality care American medical teams provide to this nation's soldiers. But more than half those being treated by American doctors and nurses are Iraqis. Tonight, Bob Bazell has the remarkable story of an Iraqi child getting a second chance thanks to some of those very dedicated Americans serving on the front lines of combat medicine.
At first we saw what looked like a tiny bundle of bloody rags rushed into the Baghdad combat hospital. Then we saw her face.
We have a 5-year-old female with GSW abdomen evisceration, partial amps, ×2.
The little girl had been playing near her house when an insurgent's random mortar shell landed next to her.
68/29.
It blew off her foot, mangled an arm, and sent shrapnel into her intestines. By luck, a U.S. patrol had been passing by.
X-ray, can we get in here and get a babygram?
The medical team doubts she will live.
Tell them this little girl needs to go to the OR pretty quick.
But still, they badly want to save her. 2 teams of doctors operate. The next day after the injuries, the girl is alive and doctors say she has a fighting chance. Her mother manages to find her. We can't show the mom's face because she fears sectarian reprisals for seeking help from Americans. She says the girl's name is Imam. Her left leg has been amputated and her arm requires several complex surgeries to ever work again. The big question, where will she go next?
Set her on her side a little bit.
She could be transferred, like most Iraqi patients, to an overcrowded civilian hospital. But Colonel James McLean, a pediatric anesthesiologist from Honolulu, says she would end up crippled at best.
In a society like this one, that's going to very seriously limit her options.
So the staff, including Dr. McLean and ICU nurse Major Angela Stone, fight to hold on to the child. Major Stone usually works at the Army Hospital in Germany, but volunteered to be here.
It can be hard. It can be hard to see them injured. It's sad to see any of them, the adults, the children, injured. The kids tend to pull at the heartstrings a little bit more.
They contact Captain Suzanne Tetro of the National Iraqi Assistance Center,
All done.
a U.S. military unit that tries to get charity help for some Iraqis.
She happened to be in the right place at the right time, and so maybe we will be able to receive treatment for her.
Can you smile for him?
This time it works. The Shriners Hospital in Sacramento agrees to perform her rehabilitation.
This one she goes in, right?
Dan McFerrin, whose company, ECC, has made a lot of money building U.S. bases in Iraq, pays for the trip.
This is just a child, and if you can help a child, then what else is there? What else can you do? This is what we're supposed to do.
The staff lines up as she leaves.
Thank you. Bye.
They are rewarded with a kiss and a smile, knowing they gave one child a second chance at life. Robert Bazell, NBC News, Baghdad.
And something more on something we touched on in the little girl you just saw in that piece. She could not be transferred to an Iraqi civilian hospital because the Iraqi medical system is presently in shambles. Bob Bazell writes more about that, including information on where you can contact the charities that help this specific young girl on our website. That's nightly.msnbc.com.
You may have seen the story earlier this evening on NBC Nightly News about a young Iraqi girl who, for all intents and purposes, should be dead. Iman was hit by an insurgent mortar while playing outside of her home. By chance, an American patrol was nearby. They took her to a U.S. military hospital where 2 teams of doctors were able to save her life. However, she still needed extensive surgery and rehabilitation work. She is now receiving that state-of-the-art care at Sacramento Shriners Hospital, and KCRA 3's Tom Duhane has the rest of the story.
Well, the doctors at Shriners say that the girl received outstanding care from military doctors who kept her alive after she lost an arm and a leg. But now she faces another 6 months or more of medical treatment and special therapy. And that is what Shriners does best. The child arrived at Shriners Hospital with her mother 10 days ago. Her privacy is carefully guarded. She's listed in good condition, making progress.
Both this little girl and her mom are making efforts to learn English and are learning it very fast, and they're both just charming people. She's a happy little girl, and I'd say everything is going great so far. Dr. James says that little Iman is bright and curious, and Shriners is very adept at working with different cultures and different languages like Arabic.
As soon as we got this case, the whole community came together. The Muslim community came together to support this family, to help us make it easier for this family and alleviate their stress.
Would that include translating, maybe?
Absolutely. We have translators from all over the community volunteering, helping us do our work.
Shriners is like a mini medical center, complete with laboratories which can create everything from masks for young burn victims to orthotics to artificial limbs. Little Iman will need an arm and a leg. Then in this physical therapy room, she'll work with experts to help her develop strength and balance and coordination. And what's the outlook for this young survivor?
I think she's going to be able to walk just fine. I think she'll be able to do just about everything that other kids can do. And a lot of that's just due to the resiliency of a 5-year-old. You know, we can't take all the credit for that.
In the past 10 years, Shriners Hospital here in Sacramento has treated thousands of children from accident traumas, birth defects, even natural disasters. But this young Iraqi girl may be the very first child they've treated here who was the victim of warfare. David Lois?
What a little doll. Thanks, Tom.